Today is about the power of you. You will change the world.
Welcome to Turning Point with Patrice Williams.
We can be whatever we dream.
Enhance the way you think about successful entrepreneurship, empowerment, and politics to live your best life.
Fulfill the highest, truest expression of yourself.
And now your host, the authentic, impactful influencer and coalition builder, Patrice Williams.
Let's go. Hi, this is Patrice Williams. I am here with you for another episode of Turning Point with Patrice Williams. I am really excited about this episode today. How to repair your credit with Ruth Benjamin. She is the founder of Financial Education Services. And let me bring her on. So with no further ado, you will find out why she is invited here today, because she is pretty amazing. Hi, Ruth.
Hi, how are you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Well, I have to tell you that I told you a little bit of it, but I have my consultant is through Solano Small Business Development Center, and I had applied for the EIDL loan and did not get approved because my credit score wasn't high enough. So I was talking to my SBDC credit counselor with Solano County, and she said, there is this amazing credit repair, credit education training, and it's 3 hours long. And she was like, but you've got to listen to it. It's pretty spectacular. And so I text my husband and I said, I was at the transitional home. So I said, don't call me for 5 hours because I have to digest this, write notes, and then put together an action plan. And that's what I did. I just spent hours listening to you, pausing, writing notes, pausing, writing notes, going backwards. And I put together a full plan on what I was going to do to bring up my credit score. And because of you, Ruth Benjamin, I increased my credit score over 40 points.
That's awesome.
And I increased my husband's credit score over 40 points in 2 months because of you.
Oh, that's so good to know. I never get to hear the great stories. So thank you for letting me know that.
Thank you. So then when Lisa and I were doing a production meeting, and I was like, I want to make sure that we elevate everybody's lives. So we just had a show on vaccinations and educating people on vaccinations, because that's important. And I said, people need to know, like during the pandemic, like this happened during the pandemic, I increased my credit score. And yeah, so we can make an impact right now. And you I immediately thought of you.
Thank you.
So thank you. So I want to, because I'm about to get all worked up and excited. And before I do, I want to give the audience a little more about you. Ruth Benjamin is the founder of Financial Education Services. Ruth's experience spans over 25 years in the areas of 1031 exchanges, real estate sales, loans, foreclosures, bankruptcies, evictions, escrow title, and now credit repair, debt settlement, and business credit. Financial Education Services began because Ruth saw an opportunity to help people get out of tough and unfortunate situations and guide them through consumer rights laws, stopping pesky collection companies from attacking them. Financial Education Services will give you recommendations on what can be done immediately, as well as in the long term, to improve your credit. Ruth has also helped small startup businesses and people who have been in business for years establish business credit. We guarantee 50,000 in 12 months from entering into our program with no personal credit check or personal guarantee.
Yep.
That is Ruth Benjamin. And we have a fun fact about Ruth that you were just telling us about your car. You love you love paying no taxes and increasing credit so much that your license plate says what?
Pay no tax. And I was just saying that my husband both of our cars have pay no tax in different ways of putting it on the license plate. And my husband was driving down the street and a highway patrolman was behind him on the PA going, "Is that really what it means? Pay no tax?" And, the highway patrol, they cannot, because my husband, they pulled over to talk, right?
Yeah.
And my husband tried to give him a card. He goes, "I can't take your card. It's not legal to take your card." So my husband drops it on the ground and says, "Can you pick it up?" He says, "No." And he says, "But my phone number is on the around the frame." So I haven't heard from the guy yet. This happened a couple weeks ago, but we'll see.
Right. That's why you need to have it across the hood of your car and the
Yep.
side with a scan code, so people can just pull out with that scan code on their phone.
Right. Because, credit is so important, but, not paying taxes is equally important. There's so many different ways, income tax, capital gains taxes, the wealthy are not paying taxes. So why are we? So if I could show you how to not pay taxes in different, different reasons why you don't have to, or you can lower your tax bill. Like this year, if I would have to write a check for 2020, a check for $47,000 to the IRS. So I set up my tool, which is a trust, which we're going to talk about later, not today. But now my tax bill is only going to be $7,500.
That's a
For
big
the same
difference.
income. It's huge. It's huge. So that's going to be a whole nother topic. We're talking credit today.
We
And
are.
I have as big a passion for credit as I do for not paying taxes. So,
But let me ask you, before we get into credit, you mentioned a few areas, and I'm going to have you at the end tell us a little bit more. But if for people that are just signing on and you pique their interest with 1031 exchanges and trusts, give us the contact information, because they might have to go. They might say, "I have credit. My credit is fine, but I want to reach her," and then we'll talk more about it later. But give us the
okay. So my phone number is 888-977-1222. If you want to hear about different tax deferrals, our website is deferthegainstax.com. So plural for gains. So deferthegainstax.com.
Okay. And I'm going to defer the gains.
Tax.com.
Is that right?
Yep.
Okay.
And we're just establishing YouTube ourselves. We're going to start going live on YouTube, which will then hit Facebook and Twitter. And we're just trying to get out there and let people know what is available for them.
That's right. Well, I tell you, I almost felt like you were a teacher, because you are able to break down principles so easily, so you can easily really catch hold to it. So let me make sure I have your number right, because I told you I have readers. I want to make sure I have your phone number right. 888-977-1222.
Yes.
Okay. Awesome. And that is for you and Ruth Benjamin. And I feel like you have two company names. Is that right?
I do. Well, the credit business is financial education services. The tax business is financial tax strategy. And the 1031 company is called National Exchange Services. So you can pretty much, on Defer the Gains Tax, you can see most of them there.
Okay. Awesome. 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 Okay. So for everyone that is watching live, we are on an interactive stream. Whether you're on Facebook, or LinkedIn or YouTube or Twitter right now, if you are watching us, you can ask us any question that you want, and we will be able to see it and answer it. And we're excited. We are going to get excited. We're going to get started, and you all just load up the questions. We'll go back to later. But Ruth, you're a tax expert. You love credit repair. You let it rip.
All right, so let's talk about collection companies because this is my favorite topic when it comes to credit. But let me step back for a moment. You know, everybody starts out with a 300 FICO score, and then your credit goes up or down depending on what you do with your credit. So the key points are when you're applying for credit, you can increase your FICO score by marking, when you apply for credit online, by marking that you're a professional. So the last place I saw the word professional where it says occupation and you drop down is the American Express Blue Cash Rewards card. So if you go into American Express, apply for the credit card, mark that you're a professional, then your credit score is going to increase even if you get denied for the credit card, because when you mark that you're a professional, that gives you additional points on your FICO score. Again, even if you get denied, it's going to increase your FICO score. The longer you live somewhere increases your FICO score. So I have a credit score chart that I will supply so you can take a look at how it impacts your credit. Inquiries, 5 to 9 inquiries in a 2-year period drops your credit score 18 points. Don't let people run your credit for just any reason. If you want to look at your credit, reach out to us. We can run your credit report without it affecting your credit score. The cost is $25 because I'm connected to San Francisco Housing Development Corporation. They're a HUD organization. So you're not applying for credit with them. You are simply looking at your credit report. So there is a way to see your credit without you impacting your score. So there's also what type of credit you have. If you only carry MasterCard, Visa, American Express, and Discover, you only get 16 points added to your FICO score. But if you add a department store card to your credit card portfolio, it's going to increase your score. So there's a lot of little different tips that I teach. We do have free classes out there that I give every month for different organizations that you can attend for free. I actually give you the letters and the laws on how to dispute your credit. So it just depends on if you have a late payment on your credit, it's going to drop your credit score, and it affects your credit score for 7 years. Now, a little tip that I like to teach. I have, one of my daughters, she had her rent payments and her car payment due at the same time. She couldn't make both out of her first paycheck of the month. So she called me up. She lived in San Diego. I'm in Milpitas. So she says, Mom, can you go make $20 payment on my car payment? So we paid it by the due date, $20. So I said, okay, and I'd go and pay $20 on her car payment, walk into the credit union because it was located in Milpitas. Well, as long as she made the rest of her car payment by the end of that month, she never got a late payment. So you got to know these tricks on how to get by. She had to make it before the next payment came through, but she didn't get a late payment because she paid something by that date. So those are the tips I like to teach everybody. Now, collection companies, I love these collection companies, they're calling and they're harassing you. If you tell them, you pick up the phone and you tell them, do not contact me by phone, only by mail. If they keep calling you, you can sue them. We actually have attorneys that will take on the cases and sue them for you. Now, with a collection, the key thing with a collection is know what date was the last day you paid the original creditor, because there's only 7 years. Even if a collection company just picked up the date today, they have to go 7 years from the date of the original last payment is all that they can contact you for. And there's a lot of different secrets. I could talk for hours, as you know, about credit. So it's the date, the very last time you made a payment to the original creditor. Now it's 7 years from that point. The one thing that I want you to know about collection companies is do not pay them. Always settle with them. Okay, do not pay them in full. But you always want to call the original creditor first before you make any arrangements with the collection company, because once an original creditor charges off a debt, so you go 30 days late, 60 days late, 90 days late, and then they charge it off. And what that means to a creditor is they charge off the debt so they get a tax break from the IRS for writing off bad debt. Now, what happens is the collection companies pick up these debts, okay? And they pick them up for like 4 cents to every dollar. So it's ridiculously small on what they're picking up these debts. But what you don't know is if a collection company calls you, I had a client that had a $17,000 credit card debt, and it went into collections. The original creditor charged it off. And once the collection company picked it up, they said, okay, we want $17,000. And she says, yes, I got rid of 10,000 of that debt. I'll pay you. So she started paying the collection company, and then all of a sudden the collection company couldn't take payments anymore. They said she had to call the original creditor. So when she called the original creditor, they said, we want all 17,000. She says, but wait a minute, I've already paid $4,000 to the collection company. And they say, well, that doesn't matter. We want it all back. But what happens is if you start paying a collection company without calling the original creditor first, the original creditor has 4 years to pull back the debt, and now you're paying both companies. So don't ever enter into an agreement with the collection company without calling the original creditor first. Okay?
You're going to help so many people with that.
Very important. Very, very, very important. You don't want to end up with this debt twice. And it happens to everybody. Remember, I see a lot of credit reports. I see this happening all the time. So those are the most important things that I want to caution you.
Okay. Okay. And what we're going to do is you've given us such great information. We're going to deconstruct it a little bit. And also I want to make sure that I go into the our interactive chat, because I see where our president of the Solano Black Chamber of Commerce, she talks to so many business owners, and she is watching. Hello, Elise. And so we are going to absolutely go back into how people can make so would people make an appointment directly with you, Ruth, or would they go through one of the organizations that you work with?
Well, the best way to get things handled, because I run 3 companies, so it's a little hard to reach me, and I'm not proud to say that. I am always available, but sometimes it takes me a little bit to get back to you. But SBDC has my business partner connected to them, and she knows everything about credit that I'm talking about. So I don't know how you want us to reach out to SBDC to get a hold of her, but that's the best person to talk to about credit.
Right. And is that the Alameda SBDC?
Yes.
Okay. So,
and her name is Janine Bier, B-I-E-R.
I have a feeling I'm going to spell her name wrong, but Janine, G-E-A.
Janene. It's a different way of Janine. And then Bier, B-I-E-R.
The J Beer. Okay. So even though some of us may be with the Solano SBDC, we want you to call the Alameda SBDC and ask for Janine
Bier.
Bier. Yes. So
it should be B-E-E-R, but it's not. It's B-I-E-R.
Okay, got it. So that's what we're going to do. But you can still work with the Solano SBDC.
Yes, we want you to work with the Solano SBDC, but know that Janine is there. She works for SBDC, and she can help you with your credit.
Uh-oh. Ruth has disappeared, but I know she is going to be heading back. Oh, here she is. Here she is. That was just too good to be true. You just popped out of the.
I know. I was like, what happened?
That's all right. I was just going to keep them warm for you until you came back.
Okay.
Okay, so let's deconstruct a little bit about what you gave us because I want to make sure people are, we can meet people where they are. So if you are new, you don't have credit yet. For example, I have an 18-year-old, he doesn't have credit yet. And you just gave this great resource is to apply through the American Express Blue Card. Identify yourself as a professional, and whether you get denied or accepted, that's going to give you a boost. Is there anything else in that category of new, brand new?
Of course there is. So authorized user still works. They've told me since 2007 they were going to take authorized user away. So what is authorized user? Authorized user is where mom has great credit, I'm giving an example, and son needs help. So if mom goes and calls her credit card company and puts her son on as an authorized user, so what happens is you don't have to hand your son that credit card, but you've put him on, so all of your great credit hops on son's report. If son happens to have bad credit, it will not hop on your report. So you never want to co-sign for anybody. Okay. Co-signing is a no-no. Don't ask anybody to co-sign, and you don't co-sign for anybody, because when you co-sign, you're 100% responsible for that loan. And I had a client who co-signed her daughter's student loans and the car loan, and the daughter had a great job. She was never late. She was very responsible. 2 years into the loan, the daughter was killed in a car accident. So all of that debt went on mom. Right? So you don't want to do that to your parents. You know, on the death of the daughter, the client was so devastated, she just froze. She didn't file bankruptcy. She lost her home over it. So don't let that happen. You know, everybody thinks, oh, it's just co-signing. Don't worry, I'm going to pay it. Well, life happens. Life happened to me. You know, back in 2007, I had a construction project with a partner friend of mine. We had 3 lots in Ripon, California. I was told by the developer, if I put a loan on the one lot, that he would build all 3 houses. Everything was great. That was 2007. We couldn't get to the final draw. I lost everything. I had to file bankruptcy. I got to sit in the IRS office. I had judgments put on me. I went through everything that most people could go through. So just know that if times are getting bad, especially through COVID, yes, life can take you down, but it's not going to take you down for long. We're going to show you how to recover. There is a light at the end of the tunnel, and there is a way to strategically fall. I had one of my daughters had to file bankruptcy. She was calling me saying, Mom, I can't do this anymore. You know, I'm starting to fall. She had lost her job. Everything was happening. And I told her, before you get any late payments, file bankruptcy. She filed bankruptcy. She came out of bankruptcy with a 690 credit score because I told her, if you don't see any light, file now. Get rid of all the debt. She recovered with a 690 credit score because she didn't have all those late payments affecting her credit. So you really have to know, let's talk. Okay, let's talk and see what is the best situation for you. For her, she came out of bankruptcy with the 690 score. She's, you know, that bankruptcy does stay on your credit report for 7 to 10 years, depending on what you file, a 7 or a 13. But she bought a car within 5 months of bankruptcy. So and you could get a home loan within 3 years of bankruptcy, even though it's on your credit report. So don't let people tell you, oh, filing bankruptcy is going to destroy your life for the next 10 years. Well, it's going to be on your credit, but it doesn't destroy your life. In fact, a car lender prefers to see a bankruptcy because then they know nobody's going to come after you. So there's a lot of different things. It's not as bad as you think. That's why I like to talk to you. I like to tell you what I went through, and know that it's not that bad. Yeah, it feels awful. And people say, well, people are going to know I filed bankruptcy. Well, not unless you tell them. You know, unless you have one of those friends that goes and searches public records every day of their life.
Friends. They're there. So what? It's nothing. We do
It's
not.
life. And you know what? If that person has that much time on their hands and they know it, like we said, so what? It happens to everybody. It's life.
It's life. It's life. It's life. So Elise says, oh, wonderful thing. She said, thank you for answering her question. And again, Elise is the president of the Solano Black Chamber of Commerce, one of my good friends.
All right.
And she is pretty badass.
All right.
I cursed. And let's see, we have Empower Solano. This is such information about creditors. I agree. We have, oh, awesome. Tamari Richardson. She's awesome. She's a best-selling author. And she's saying this is such stellar information. Robin Walker says, you rock. I agree, Ruth. You do. Tara Beasley Stanberry says, good morning, Ruth.
Good morning.
And Tamari is agreeing. She says, if they can't afford to get it themselves, don't co-sign. And that's what you said. You said, do not co-sign. It does not matter what the situation is. Do not do it.
Mm-hmm.
As at the matter, authorized
user.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, you can help your children by being an authorized user, by putting them on your card as an authorized user. In fact, back in the day, I have 4 daughters. Well, I now have 7. I got married, but I have 4 of my own, single mom type thing. And they were all played softball on a travel team. So what I had to do is I had to have some parents take my kids with them on weekend tournaments. So what I did is I gave each child a credit card off of my credit card, because I said, when you're with those parents, don't take advantage of them. Pay for your hotel room, pay for your food, use the credit card. So that way, I wasn't feeling like I was taking advantage of the parents. So my kids had their credit cards. That was probably from about age 16. I don't believe there's any minimum age that you can put them on your credit to start building their credit. That's a good thing and a bad thing, right? Because if you give your kids the advantage of having great credit when they turn 18, they don't value it as much because they didn't have to build it, right? We do want to help our kids, but be careful about helping them too much. Now, when it comes to college, during the time my kids were going to college is when I went through my financial mess. So I couldn't help them. And that made me feel awful as a parent, that I couldn't do some kind of co-signing for their college loans and that. But in the long run, it actually helped, because if a parent signs off and the parent loans when it comes to colleges and that, you lose all the benefits of being able to get any reduction in that. So stay away from your kids' college loans if the kids, they can do it on their own. They don't need you. So don't feel obligated to sign on those college loans, because if the kids end up on a college loan, you can get an income-based repayment plan. And what that means is they're going to look at your kids' income, even if they don't have a job. I had people go from $600 a month to $60 a month. I had one client go to $6 a month, because what they do is they look at your income. So don't wait till you have a great job and everything's, working out great. Start getting into these income-based repayment plans when you're laid off or when you don't have a job, because they'll look at your income once a year, make your payment based on that income. And then after 25 years, like that client paying $6 a month, she doesn't really have a way to increase their income. She's going to pay $6 a month for 25 years. Then the rest of the loan is forgiven. So you've got to take a look at these items out there. So many people tell me, I've had my student loans for 25 years. I wish I would have known about this. I would have been done. But most people after 25 years still owe as much or more than they did when they came out of school. So those are the things I talk about when I give classes.
I love it. Can you talk to us a little bit about tools that are out there? I know there's Credit Karma, and then there's Experian, where you can go into your credit and look at it and dispute or delete some items that may not be right. I was able to go in, and there was all these weird variances of my name and different and it was weird. It was me tied to my husband. It was just very odd things, and I was able to go in and clear that stuff up immediately.
Right. That's the thing you want to do is get rid of old addresses, especially if you're going to do some credit repair. If you get rid of any address that you don't live in today, the creditor can't match it to you, and you're going to have better credit repair results. So, Credit Karma and all of those are great to look at, but know that Credit Karma usually gives you a higher score than you actually have. So if you want, reach out to Janine. She can get the credit report for you. That's an actual mortgage credit report without hurting your credit score. And we're going to let you know exactly what's happening. And know that as simple as your credit card balance can be affecting your score. If you have a credit card that's over 50% of the limit, it drops your score 18 points. So I know on my credit card that my credit card company reports to the bureaus on the 12th of the month. I'm currently in the middle of a home loan right now, which got delayed because of COVID. But I know that every month by the 10th of the month, I got to make sure my credit card is paid down because they report by the 12th. Right? Because I don't want my credit score to drop because of the credit card balance. And I run my companies off of our credit cards. So I have to make sure by the 10th of the month during my loan process that the credit is low, the balances are paid down, so the credit score is higher because the balance is low. Every 10th of the month, so when it reports on the 12th, I have a good score. Because we got pre-approved for the home loan, but know that a creditor is going to run your credit again before they fund. So you have to not buy a car during a home loan process. Do not go and run up and buy all the furniture because they're going to check your credit again. It can knock you right out of getting that home loan. So be really careful with that.
Okay. That's good to know. And that is relevant for anyone that is looking to buy property. Right?
Yes, yes. Now, in my case, I'm buying a new mobile home because I've owned my mobile home since 2011, and it's gotten old. I bought it old. So my husband and I are taking out the old and bringing in the new. So there's a process. It has to be built, and it's coming in from Oregon. So it's taking me longer to make sure my credit card balances are down, which is good because it keeps me from going out and buying a bunch of stuff. But I know that from this process, it's going to take us 3 to 4 months to get this done. So I know every month I've got to make sure and keep my cards down because once we close, they're going to run that credit and they're going to see, what I've done. So be careful with that.
Are you also a real estate agent?
No.
Okay.
I'm not a real estate agent. I'm connected to a lot of real estate agents, but no, I don't sell real estate, but I can help you. I actually, I've done loans, I've done real estate. My ex-husband was a real estate broker. So as you know, I was writing contracts for him and doing all of that. So I've been in the real estate world for so long that I can help you out if there's anything on those types of questions.
You are just, so much. Let's see. Okay. So I want you to give us a little bit, because it's not just personal credit that you have a passion for, but also 1031 exchange. So I want you to tell us a little bit about what that is, because we're going to have you back.
Okay.
And then I'm going to have you talk about trust.
Okay, so a 1031 exchange is for people that own investment property and they want to buy their property, sell their property and buy a new property. Now, right now, everybody's trying to get out of California because of the high taxes. So you can sell a property, an investment property, not your primary residence, but as long as you meet the requirements of a 1031 exchange, you can buy your property. Sell your property and buy new property or properties and avoid the capital gains taxes. So in order to do that, once you sell your property, you have to identify a replacement property by the 45th day, and you have to take title by the 180th day from the date that you sold. So the full time period is 180 days. The 45 day falls in that 180 day time period. You must trade equal or greater to what you sold. You have to replace any loan from what you sold. And as long as you do that, you avoid capital gains taxes. That's the quick view of it.
Right, right. And in your business, do you help us navigate? Are you almost the navigator to make sure everything is happening in time and we don't come up on those 180 days and we're like,
Yep. I'm the 1031 accommodator. So that company is called National 1031 Exchange Services. So I can help you with that. And I do have another tax strategy that is called a monetized installment sale, that if you cannot finish your exchange, we can rescue it. So that means if you can't find a replacement property, or you're not able to take title to one of the ones you did identify, we can move you to a whole nother strategy that defers the taxes for 30 years with you receiving your cash.
okay, okay. So so we're gonna have you back, and who we need to have are people that own property, right?
Mm-hmm.
Investment property, not the property they live in, or could it be the home that they live in, but now they want to move on to the next house that is the same or greater?
Well, what is happening so 1031 is strictly for investment property.
Okay.
But if you have, most people, I'll say a lot of people, have a primary residence here in California, and the exclusion for taxes for a married couple is $500,000. So it's $250,000 per person. Well, in California, because our appreciation is so great, that $500,000 is not even touching the amount that you need to defer in taxes.
Right.
So I have the trust product that will eliminate capital gains taxes. So if you go over the 500,000 exclusion, which most people do, there's a way to get around the tax bill on that. So that's a whole nother subject on getting rid of taxes that way.
I'm going to put your number back on because there's going to be some people watching this right now and later, and they are going to say, I need Ruth's number.
Yes.
I need her number. I need it for now, or I need this in a year because I know that I want to own investment property and I need to put her number somewhere special. And yes, you do. You need to put away her number, put it in your phone so that you'll have it. Ruth Benjamin, that is her number. Here is her website address. We want to be to the point where we either have investment property now, or we're getting to the point where we're going to be in this space where we want to be able to need Ruth.
Yes. That's where we all want to be. And remember, you can get there. Even if times are tough right now, don't take it. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. You're going to move forward.
Oh, I love that, Ruth. Okay, tell us a little bit about business credit. Can we have you come back for that? Yeah, I'm going to ask you on the air. So if you say no, I'll be like,
of course you can. I do presentations also on business credit. So they're out there, and we can talk about that. But business credit is if you have a corporation or an LLC, you can build business credit separate from your personal credit. So you have two lines of credit going on. You can build your credit for your business credit, and you can build your personal credit. But the goal is to get business credit that is strictly on your business. Never give your social security number. So that way, unfortunately, if something happens to your business, it'll never affect you personally. And the business credit, your goal is to have an 80 paydex score. That's the verbiage for business credit. Your goal on your personal credit is to have a 760 mid score, right? There's three bureaus: TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax. They all are out there. They're not government owned. They're all independently owned. So when you're disputing your credit, you got to get each one to do what you want them to do. But your goal for your personal credit is 760. So if you have a 760 or over 800, doesn't matter. You're going to get the same rates because you're considered in the high tier of credit.
okay, you all, this is our goal. It's 760. Yeah, and that's that's how we function. We need our goal. We need our goal.
Well, you know what? You're going, okay, I need a 760, but how did I get there? And that's what my credit score chart does. It kind of lets you know how you get to that 760 score.
Okay, now how do we get that?
I'll send it to you, and then you can put it out somewhere. I used to have my financial education website, but I'm one of those people that hired a company. Then I had the website going, and then the website company split. Somebody ran off with my website. So my financial education services website is not there, and I don't do a lot of credit repair anymore. I do more teaching, so I chose not to spend the money to set it up again. But I am here, and I can give you that information.
Okay, let's see. I think what we'll do is everyone should go to our Turning Point with K Patrice, go to our Facebook page. So that's www.facebook.com/Turning Point with K Patrice. And what we'll do is we will post it there. Okay, so that is going to be that one place where when we get that great information, that is where we'll post it. Okay, so you're just going to have to watch and follow us. But in the meantime, if you have gotten great information and value, that should be everyone that listens to this. Share it. Hit share right now. Sharing is caring.
That's right.
And you can see it with this type of information, like literally listening to this information. I know the next things that I'm going to do, because I don't listen to these podcasts even as a host without saying, okay, and my next step is I'm going to be contacting SBDC Alameda right after we hang up. I'm going to try to beat everybody and call, and that is my next step, and to relook at my credit. Also, with tools, should we have this information, these credit reporting agencies, should we have them on our phone where we're looking at them every month? Is that part of our strategy as well?
Well, it depends on, especially through COVID, if you've had to create an accommodation agreement with your creditor or lender, you need to look at your credit every month. But if we were not in the COVID situation, I say look at your credit 2 times a year. You don't need to sign up for any of the credit monitoring that charges you money. Credit Karma is fine, but no, it's not accurate. But if you want to do any credit repair, then you need to get it's called a mortgage credit report. So that's like the ultimate. It gives you all the details, because remember, things cannot stay on your credit in the state of California. The statute of limitations is 7 to 10 years, depending on what it is. So the beautiful thing about connecting with Janine with SBDC, she's going to mark it all up for you and tell you exactly what to do, how to write the letters, what the dispute reasons are. We give you all of our knowledge. We don't hold anything back. We don't want you to hire us to do credit, because we don't really do that anymore. We'd rather teach you how to do it, but we don't hold back on anything. We give you all of our secrets.
So, should anybody be paying for credit repair?
No, we give you everything. We give you the laws, the letters, the dispute reasons. We even tell you how to send your letters, because you don't want to dispute online, because if you dispute online, then you extend the time that the bureaus have to respond to you. Plus, you don't have any backup. You don't have any letters that if you had to sue the creditors, you could. Now, in all my years of credit repair, none of my clients wanted to go to court. So even if the bureaus didn't do what they wanted to do, they didn't want to take the time to go to court and sue them. But just know that we've got, the creditors or the bureaus know how to respond also. They have what's called an OCR machine. So they run your letters through this machine and it kicks out a generic response. That meets the requirements. So what we do is we teach you handwrite the letters or print them out on a dark colored paper so that when it runs through the machine, the machine can't read it. So it gets into a human's hands. A human only has 3 minutes to work on your credit, you're going to get better results. So that's what we teach you. Even staple the letters, cross staple them. So they have to sit there and pick them out to put them in their machine. So we teach you all those secrets, and it's going to work. An average person that does the credit report, the credit repair, and does what we tell them to do increases their score by 80 points.
Oh, okay. I have some work to do then. I need to get my next 40 points.
That's right. You're going to do it.
You know what I do? I make it like a game almost. You know, like I'm working on this. I'm like, and now I have my goal in my mind. Let's see, 760. So now I'm going to have my goal. I'm going to put on top of my paper, 760 is the goal. And I'm going to jump back in and go after it. And that's what we're all going to do. You've inspired us all.
Good.
Okay, so you are going to be coming back. I'm trying to think. So we've covered 1031 exchange. We know that you are great at that and trust. We have your contact information. We have written copious notes about credit repair that you've given us. And we're going to have you back, by the way, to talk about 1031 exchange. I can't wait for that conversation. And are there any parting words that you have for us?
You know, the one thing I want everybody to know, because the struggle is credit, the struggle is taxes, don't give up. There's always a way to get out of this. So please don't give up. Reach out. It's all free resources. I'm not asking you to pay any money to get this information. So get yourself educated on what can happen. Don't just sit there going, poor me. Okay, there's a way to get out of it. So start moving forward.
Start moving forward. I love it. I love it. Okay, awesome. Well, we are, I think we're at the end. Thank you, Brother Ray. I know I have the best job ever. I get to bring these amazing people that I intersect in my life, and I get to bring them to this stage. So I am just honored, and especially after I feel, Ruth, I guess I'm probably getting a little too familiar with you, because I feel like after 5 hours,
we're best friends now.
I'm the best friend that you didn't know you had. Well, thank you for those encouraging last message, and I'm going to put you in the virtual. We call it our virtual green room, and I'm going to close out the show and introduce the show for tomorrow. Don't go away though, okay?
I won't. I'm right here.
Properly, okay.
Okay.
That was another great show. And we're going to have Ruth Benjamin back. But I want you to come back tomorrow. Tomorrow, we're going to have Sheila Tyson. You all know Sheila Tyson. If you follow her online, she is telling us all the time that, she says, GoFundMe is not insurance. So she is going to come and give us the 1, 2, 3 of what is life insurance. Do we have enough? Where do we go? She's going to give us all of that information tomorrow. So I want you to come back tomorrow and join me for another episode of Turning Point with Kate Patrice Williams in the mix. But right now, I want you to share this episode. This is an episode that can impact everyone. Even if you have a 760 score, I bet you want something higher. This is information for everyone, whether they're trying to develop their new credit or if they are in credit repair mode. Okay, and with that, this is Kate Patrice Williams with Turning Point. Hold on, and I want y'all to see my great new outro. Hold on. Here it is.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Turning Point with K. Patrice Williams.
Something better is always possible if you're willing to work for it and fight for it.
Don't forget to subscribe, like, and leave a comment. And never miss a podcast or live stream by visiting our website, imkpatrice.com, or connecting through social media at IamKPatrice on all platforms.